What is going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 2 of a road trip. You can try it if you want. Cue the intro. Last summer I took a road trip across Canada with some friends, but because of COVID we couldn't really visit major cities, hotels, or restaurants along the way. To make things interesting, we took some side roads, saw a lot of parks, and camped for 12 days. In this video, we're attempting to drive from Thunder Bay to Grasslands National Park in 3 days. If you missed part 1, then don't bother checking it out. Live in the moment. So where are we starting off on day 4? Well, none other than Sleeping Giant Provincial Park, the one with cliffs that look like Sleeping Giant, sort of. And apparently you can climb to the top of it. The trail we took was called Cabian Trail, and it starts off along the northern shores of Lake Superior, home to the bluest water in Ontario. Probably. Don't quote me on that, though. Then do yourself a favor and swing by this hidden meadow right here. It's lush, peaceful, and even surrounded by a stand of 300-year-old northern white cedar trees. Fun fact, they've actually been recognized as some of Ontario's oldest trees.
Wow, Kenny, that was a fun fact.
Thanks, Mav. The next super fun section involves climbing straight up a cliff. It was hell. I won't sugarcoat it, but I guess the views at the top are worth it. You're currently looking at the highest sheer cliffs in Ontario. We're talking 250 meters straight down. If this cliff was a skyscraper, it would be Canada's 10th tallest building and close to 80 stories in height. So obviously don't get close to the edge, unless you're Kurt. This guy's wild. After the hike, you'll be dead. I don't care how much CrossFit you do, it's a 6-hour hike with serious elevation gains, so to make sure you don't fall asleep on the highway, the drive is short today. If you desperately need a bed, I'd recommend this motel in Ignis, but if you still want the true camping experience, there's a piece of crown land right here that you can tent at, there's fire pits, and it's free. Wherever you wake up for day 5, just know it's your last day in Ontario. What you'll find a bit down the road is a province called Manitoba, the start of the Prairies, which you may have heard are a little flat. If you decide to stick to the Trans-Canada until the Rockies, it will stay like that for 1,500 kilometers. So allow me to offer an alternative route. At Winnipeg, we're going to divert to the Redcoat Trail, a highway infamous for ghost towns, badlands, and all things western. More on that tomorrow, though. The park you're staying at today is 2 hours past Winnipeg in Spruce Woods Provincial Park. The campsite itself is called Kichi Manitou, which translates to the Great Spirit in Algonquian languages. Why? Well, it's home to the Spirit Sands, of course. Endless rows of massive 30-meter high sand dunes in the middle of, well, nowhere really. They're here because the Assiniboine River deposited the sand as a delta thousands of years ago, and Aboriginal peoples believe the dunes are the closest you can get to the Great Spirit. So yeah, if it feels sacred walking through here, you know why. Or maybe you're mistaking that feeling for the ground shaking beneath your feet. In the 1940s, these sand dunes were used as military training sites to prepare troops for overseas deserts. So there are apparently still unmarked explosives in the area. I wouldn't worry though, the chances of you actually finding one are so low it's laughable. Moving forward, that's pretty much it for day 5, so let's check out day 6, where we drive to Oh, okay, I guess we're already in Saskatchewan. Turns out it only takes 5 hours to drive across Manitoba. Nice. As I was saying, today we're driving to Grasslands National Park, and 30 minutes after you cross the provincial border, things will get spooky. That's because you just entered Canada's infamous Ghost Town Trail, a section of the Redcoat Highway that passes by 32 villages forgotten in time. I'll be giving you the option to explore the more notable ones in part 3 of this series, but the coolest ghost town you'll see today is called Wood Mountain. It's equipped with an abandoned grain elevator and an antique car lot to browse. Also, cut that music, it's still a road trip. That's better. 30 minutes down the road is your campsite, which you'll be happy to hear isn't creepy at all, don't worry. The staff at Grasslands were super nice and it's a great spot to stretch your legs, maybe toss the frisbee around, realize it's too windy to play frisbee, have your puppy steal it, and then proceed to run around the campsite for 30 minutes. Even after all that, we took a quick drive through the Badlands Parkway. It's a paved road on the campsite that takes you to Canada Park's famous red chairs, some mighty cool cacti, of course lush hidden valleys, and this. Probably one of my favorite views on the entire trip. Of course, this called for a Corona and a professional photo shoot. But that's it. If you didn't fall asleep halfway through, toss me a subscription, it means a lot. Part 3 is coming out this Friday, and in it we see prairie dogs, ghost towns, dinosaur fossils, Rocky Mountains, abandoned fire watches, and much more. So yeah, take it easy and I'll see you next week.